The checkout showdown begins. I always believed grocery shopping was one of the simplest errands in the world. Grab a cart, pick your items, wait your turn, pay and leave. That's it. No drama, no complications. But that was before she showed up. Before the HOA president, who the neighborhood secretly called HOA Karen, decided to turn a perfectly normal afternoon into a public spectacle. It was a Saturday around 4 p.m., and the supermarket was busy but not chaotic. Most people were in a weekend rush, grabbing snacks, household items, or doing their weekly shopping. I had maybe 12 items in my basket: coffee, pasta, rice, a few veggies, and a pack of chicken, enough to get through the week. I joined the express checkout line, which allowed up to 15 items. There were 2 people ahead of me, and everything seemed normal, until I heard the sharp clacking of heels behind me. Sharp enough to tell me this person wasn't there to shop. She was there to supervise. "Excuse me." A voice snapped. I turned, and there she was. HOA Karen in her full glory, oversized sunglasses indoors, a stiff posture like she was inspecting troops, and a scowl already forming as if she'd been wronged before the conversation even started. "That's my spot," she declared. I blinked. "Your spot?" "Yes," she said, pointing a perfectly manicured finger at the floor. "I was standing here. You cut in front of me." I looked around. She definitely had not been in line. In fact, I had seen her entering the store just a minute earlier. But I tried to stay calm. "Ma'am, I didn't see anyone here. I just joined the line." She scoffed loudly, drawing attention from half the people around us. "Of course you didn't. People like you never pay attention to anything except themselves." The cashier stopped scanning for a moment, glancing over nervously. I exhaled. "Look, I'm not trying to start anything. The line is moving quickly. You can go ahead of me if it's that serious." Her eyes widened, offended that I wasn't bowing to her superiority. "Oh, so now you're being sarcastic? You think you can just offer me pity like I'm some helpless old woman?" I shook my head. "I'm literally just trying to be polite." That's when she stepped closer, too close, and said, "I know exactly who you are. You live in the subdivision. I've seen you ignore mailbox regulations, porch light rules, and now you think you can disrespect me in public?" I stared at her. "We're in a grocery store, not an HOA meeting." "Wrong answer." Her face turned bright red. She jabbed my shoulder with her finger and hissed, "You're going to regret this." And that jab? It was the first move that would later get her arrested. Karen escalates the chaos. The moment her finger jabbed into my shoulder, the energy in the store shifted. People around us stiffened, some pretending not to watch, others openly staring. The cashier froze mid-scan, holding a box of cereal like it was evidence in a crime scene. I took a step back, keeping my voice steady. "Ma'am, don't touch me." That should have been the end of it. A reasonable person would step back, apologize, maybe even feel embarrassed for causing a scene. But HOA Karen wasn't reasonable. She thrived on confrontation like it was her hobby. "Don't tell me what to do," she snapped, crossing her arms tightly. "You cut in line, you disrespected me, and now you're making a scene? Unbelievable." I almost laughed at the irony. "I'm making a scene?" The woman practically marched through the store like she was issuing citations. 4 grocery violations. The older man behind her cleared his throat. "Ma'am, nobody cut you. You just walked up a minute ago." Karen whipped around like a cobra ready to strike. "I wasn't talking to you," she barked. "Mind your own business." He raised his hands in a surrender gesture and stepped back. I could feel the tension rising again. "Look," I said carefully, "I don't want any trouble. You can go ahead if you really think you were next." Her jaw dropped. "Stop being condescending," she yelled, loud enough for the entire front end of the store to hear. "You are not going to bully me. I want a manager. Now." She stomped toward the customer service desk without waiting for a reply, yelling the whole way, "Where is your manager?" This man attacked me. A wave of disbelief rolled across the line. Someone whispered, "Did she really just say he attacked her?" The cashier flashed me an apologetic look. "Sir, I saw everything. Don't worry." But I knew how this worked. The louder person usually got the initial attention. Within moments, the manager, a young guy who looked like he was 2 seconds from quitting, hurried over. "Ma'am, please calm down." "What happened?" Karen went full theater mode, clutching her chest dramatically. "This man shoved me out of line and screamed at me. I'm traumatized." Several people shook their heads. One woman filmed discreetly. Another stepped forward. Sir didn't touch her. She walked up yelling at him. The manager looked between us, clearly overwhelmed. Okay, let's all stay calm. But Karen wasn't finished. Oh no. She shoved her cart forward, ramming it into my side. Not hard enough to injure, but hard enough to make a point. Hard enough that everyone gasped. I stepped back again. That's it. Don't touch me or my cart. She screamed, an actual high-pitched shriek. He's attacking me again. That's when someone near the bakery shouted, "Security! Call security!" And suddenly, this wasn't just a checkout dispute anymore. It was about to become an arrest waiting to happen. Security steps in and the truth unravels. Security at this grocery store usually meant one older gentleman who spent most of his shift near the front doors, greeting customers and reminding kids not to ride the carts. But today, he moved with surprising speed, weaving through shoppers like he'd trained for moments exactly like this. His name tag read, Ron, and he looked like a man who had seen decades of retail nonsense. But even he seemed unprepared for HOA Karen in full meltdown mode. What seems to be the problem? Ron asked, voice calm and authoritative. Karen rushed toward him like she'd found her savior. Arrest him, she wailed, pointing at me as if I were a criminal mastermind. He attacked me, cut the line, verbally abused me, and tried to shove me with his cart. I want him removed now. Ron blinked slowly, taking in the theatrics. Ma'am, let's take a breath. I need to hear from both sides. Karen's hands shot to her hips. No, I don't have to explain anything. I'm the victim. I know my rights. I'm the HOA president of. Ron gently cut her off. Ma'am, this isn't an HOA meeting. This is a grocery store. Several people chuckled under their breath. Karen gasped dramatically, scandalized that someone dared speak to her without reverence. How dare you? I will have your job for that. Meanwhile, I stood quietly, hands visible, not wanting to be accused of anything else. Ron turned to me. Sir, what happened? I explained calmly. She wasn't in the line. She came up afterward, claimed I cut her, jabbed me in the shoulder, and then rammed her cart into me when the manager tried to help. Before Karen could explode again, 3 different people stepped forward. The older man spoke first. Security, everything he's saying is true. The woman with the phone raised her hand. I recorded the cart incident. Another shopper added, she's been yelling at everyone since she got here. Karen spun around, her voice rising to an unhinged pitch. You're all lying. You're ganging up on me because I enforce rules in our neighborhood. You hate me because I'm in charge. Ron sighed. Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Karen pushed his hand away, made physical contact with security. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 followed immediately. She grabbed the front of my cart and yanked it backward so hard it nearly tipped. At that point, even the manager shouted, Ma'am, stop. Ron raised his hands. That's enough. Ma'am, step away from the cart. Karen kept her grip, eyes wild. No, he needs to be punished. He needs to learn. Ron leaned into his radio. We need police assistance at checkout 6. Situation escalating. The moment the word police hit her ears, Karen froze. Not because she was innocent, no. She froze like someone who sue. The customers stepped back, giving space. The store quieted down. Everyone knew this was about to become serious. Police were on the way, and Karen had no idea her worst moment was still ahead. The arrest heard around the aisles. It took less than 5 minutes for the police to arrive. But for HOA Karen, those 5 minutes felt like an eternity. She paced in frantic circles, muttering things like, they'll believe me. They always believe me. And, I run my neighborhood. These people don't know who they're dealing with. Everyone else stood back, watching her like she was a tornado getting ready to touch down. When the officers entered, 2 of them, Karen instantly transformed. Her shoulders straightened, her chin lifted, and her voice softened into a sweet, trembling whisper. The performance mode activated. Officers, she cried dramatically, rushing toward them. Thank goodness you're here. I have been assaulted. The younger officer held up his hand. Ma'am, please step back. We need to talk to everyone one at a time. Karen blinked, clearly not expecting someone to interrupt her Oscar-worthy monologue. And no, you don't understand. I am the victim. Ron, the security guard, stepped forward. Officers, I witnessed her jab him in the shoulder and shove the cart into him. Several customers saw the same. One has video. The woman with the phone raised her hand. I recorded it. Everything. You could practically hear the crack in Karen's confidence. The older officer nodded. We'll review the footage. Ma'am, please stand over here. She reluctantly complied, grumbling under her breath. They then approached me. Sir, what's your side of the story? I explained everything calmly, sticking to the facts. No exaggerations, no accusations. I didn't need them. Reality was already on my side. After listening, the officers began interviewing the witnesses. Each one told the same story. Karen had started everything, escalated everything, and lied about everything. While the statements were collected, Karen kept shouting, "They're all lying. They're all together. This is harassment. This is a conspiracy against me." The younger officer finally approached her. Ma'am, we reviewed the video and heard all witness statements. Karen folded her arms smugly. Good. Now arrest him. The officer paused. Ma'am, you're the one being placed under arrest. The color drained from her face. What? For what? Assault, he replied firmly. Multiple counts. You made physical contact with him and with store security. No. Karen shrieked as the officer gently took her wrists. You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA President. I enforce the rules. I am the rules. Her voice echoed across the aisles as customers watched in stunned silence. Some covering their mouths, others recording. When the cuffs clicked into place, Karen's meltdown peaked. This is illegal. I will sue every one of you. I will get you all. I finally laughed. Thanks. I think I've earned it. Outside, through the glass doors, I saw Karen still yelling from the back of the police car. And for the first time ever, I felt truly grateful for the chaos of weekend grocery shopping.